Hey everybody, what's up? If you ain't know, this is your girl Bondi Blue, and I'm here for Love After Lockups / Life After Lockup, and I'm a little tipsy. So this review might be less structured and in order than they normally are if you don't realize that there is some structure to it. So y'all, let's start off with Cheryl and Josh. We left off with them last week, and Cheryl might or might not have gotten slapped by Tina, Josh's mom. See, what had happened was Tina asked for Cheryl's 3-year-old son to clean up some water he had spilt. And Cheryl says, "Don't tell my son what to do. I'll clean up after him. He's a 3-year-old. Whether I agree with that or not, Cheryl's tone is just disrespectful and unnecessary, especially since Tina already don't like you and she's doing her son a favor by letting you stay in her house, because she really didn't have to do that." Josh ran inside, but he doesn't know who to believe. Josh is just stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay, the rock is Cheryl, the hard place is his mom, all right? He does love Cheryl, but Cheryl has two different sides to her, regular Cheryl and crazy mad Cheryl. There's no in between for him. Cheryl is on the porch going off about how she gonna teach my son something? She can't even teach her kids how to stay out of jail. And she got a little granddaughter in there sticking her finger in sockets, and I had to stop her earlier from doing that. I'm tired of it. I'm like, Cheryl. Cheryl, you know the thing that gets me about you? You want to throw in Miss Tina's face that her son has been in prison, yet you sought him out and are attracted to him and want to be with him because he's been in prison, as if that's making a good decision for your 3-year-old kid. But okay, Cheryl, go off. Tina said you got to teach the boys something. I said ain't nothing wrong with teaching a 3-year-old how to wipe up after themselves. The younger you teach them, the sooner they'll learn how to have more responsibility and to clean up after themselves, so you can stop doing everything for them. There's no excuse for not teaching these kids how to clean up behind themselves. That's just nasty, okay? Just telling you. Tina say she told Josh that she don't like Cheryl, and she meant it. I told you I don't like her, and I don't. I want her out of my house. I want her gone. Like, period, point blank. So obviously Cheryl has to go. Andrea and Lamar, y'all, they go to the sex store together because they're trying to get some fire and desire. It's been difficult to keep that sexual connection going when you're not even living with your spouse. To me, that would make me want to do it even more. I'd be on fire even more if I didn't see. You know, I've had long distance relationships with my husband and with other people, and you always be hot tamale when you finally get to see him, okay? So I don't know what Andrea talking about. I don't understand why we go into the sex store if you don't plan on giving your husband none, okay? Because Lamar is sleeping on the sofa, and he's hoping that this outing will make sure that he's using those toys and they're getting back, you know, in the bedroom. And see, Andrea knows that she's supposed to be a devout Mormon, and it may look weird for her to be in a sex store, but for her, the sex store promotes procreation, and that is what we are here to do. And not only that, when you have orgasms, you are closer to Jesus. And I said, it's not that I disagree with you, Andrea. Not at all. It's not even that I disagree with you, bitch. It's just that your ass is crazy. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. No, no, no. Tell them what to do, yeah. Just smile, 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 smile at me. But she says that people who shop at the sex store shouldn't have any issues in their relationship. I said, girl, y'all are walking through the sex store with all types of issues in y'all relationship. What you talking about, Willis? Like, I hate to bring that old dated reference back, but I mean, she puts corsets on with everything. Why can't I be dated too? Andrea says that until she feels as if Lamar deserves her body, she's going to be sleeping in her bed alone with her vibrator and her door locked. I said, okay, do what you will, sis. But ultimately, we all know that Lamar's going to get it from someplace if he ain't getting it from her. Like, he just looked like he don't have that much self-control. But I hope he does, okay? But either way, he seems to really be into her, so I don't know why she playing. You got this man back at the house. Why you playing? Like, I think she fronting, in all honesty. I think that she's saying he's not doing it, and then when the camera's gone, her ass is whispering for him to come into the room. Hey, they gone. Okay, come on. Like, Girl, you wasn't supposed to have sex in the broom closet neither, and you did that. So like I don't believe her. But whatever. Then we see them sit down and have a Mormon church meeting. Okay. When Lamar was in prison, he promised Andrea that once a month he would sit down and go through a Bible study, reading with the Mormon folk. The guy with the red hair, his woman, and their friend, and whatever. All of the, fluffy little white girls with long flat hair that Andrea loved to hang out with. Fine. I know that Lamar promised her that he would do this, but ultimately, y'all, people, period, make a bunch of promises when they're in prison, and they don't live up to them. So he lied. Okay, outside of that, I feel like he was absolutely correct and right with the way that he handled this situation. I feel like they were probably talking for more than it looked like, and he just couldn't do it because the guy with terrible red hair reads a scripture from the Mormon Bible, and Lamar is already Googling the part of Mormonism that thought that black people shouldn't be included. You know what I'm saying? There was a testament in 1978 that said that black people couldn't participate and that they were excluded as far as the temple and priesthood. And that was just in 1978. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't that long ago. I know that sounds long ago, but it wasn't. It was like 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's not that long. So it's just... It feels as if Mormonism, there also, and I might be wrong, y'all, I don't know. I didn't Google this, okay? But from what I understand, there's a part of Mormonism that looks at dark skin as a sin. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of African Americans are looking at Andrea in the same way that her husband is. That you can do that, but I'm not doing that. And most black people probably shouldn't do that, okay? Do what you want to do ultimately. But we can feel like maybe you shouldn't do that. I feel like that's safe because it's something that was built off of hatred for who we are. You know what I'm saying? As people, just for having dark skin. Like, you shouldn't want to be a part of something that would ostracize you in that way. Like, it's supposed to be about God. Like, it's God, for Christ's sakes. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate Lamar saying that he don't feel like it's for black people, whether I agree with that or not, because I don't know about Mormon religion. So I can't tell another black person what's good for them. Please don't, misunderstand me. But that's how he feels. And he should have been able to vocalize that because he feels as if he's being forced into the situation. And he doesn't appreciate feeling like he's being forced to let something into his spirit that he doesn't agree with. And that's what he vocalized to them. And they were trying to testify on Mormonism's behalf about how great it's been for their lives. But for him, he can't see past the fact that it's built off of racism. So many things are. But, when it comes to my religion, I'm sorry, that's too close. That's too close, man. That's too close. He also said that he likes ancient African religions. And I know what he meant by that, and I appreciate that because I feel the same way. Being able to trace something back to your lineage and what your people were always into and how they worshipped God and how they worshipped the universe or their ancestors or however they brought spirituality into their lives. I feel a connection with that as well. So I understand where Lamar is coming from, and I feel as though his thoughts were very well said, and people should let that man feel how he feels. Just like he said, my feelings are valid, just like y'all's feelings are valid. The point that Andrea's friends were trying to make on her behalf is that it would be better for their household if everyone was of the same religion. But he doesn't feel that way. And here's my thing. You can make a lot of promises, but Andrea, be honest and real with yourself. You sought out a man that was in prison, that was a gangster, that was a Crip, and you sought out and pursued a relationship with him exclusively. You wanted to marry him for who he is. And he's not asking you to change, but you're asking him to change. He just doesn't want to live in Oregon. You can be a Mormon and live in LA. Like, that's the truth of the matter, okay? So, even though I know those are promises he made to her, I still understand how he feels. Now that he's out of jail, it's a different situation when you feel like people are trying to force you into a religion. That's not a good feeling. I don't care what nobody say. And I don't care what Beth did when she was a kid, now she was forced to do that. You know what I'm saying? I was forced into a lot of things as well. As adults, we are able to make decisions for ourselves, and that doesn't always have to coincide with what we feel we've been forced into or what we feel like is expected of us. But, you know, the little friend did cry because she didn't want to offend him and she didn't want it to seem like that's what she was trying to do. Ultimately, it was just like, what you crying for? Like, what is there to, ma'am, pull yourself together and understand where the man was coming from. Now that we talked about that, y'all, why she extended to touch him when he said he didn't want to be touched? He said, don't touch me, and she extended to touch him again. What is that about? Why would she do that? I don't understand people who don't know how to respect personal space. At the end of the day, the only thing that I have, no matter what, is my vessel, is my body, is who I am. And if I tell you that you cannot touch me, you cannot touch me. That's that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be upset about that. You can feel however you want to feel about that. But I think it is a basic human right to respect somebody's space. And if they don't want to be touched, don't touch them. And for her to like reach and try to touch him again, even though he didn't want to be touched, even I feel like it might be coming from a place of, oh no, don't feel like that. It also comes off as, why do you feel entitled to touch somebody's body when they've asked you not to? Like, why do you feel entitled to do that? You know, let's move on. Lamar asked to be excused from the meeting and Andrea allowed it, and she's just upset that he can't hear about her religion, as if he doesn't understand it and that there's some misunderstanding. I think what she doesn't understand is that he understands what it is. He's not with it. Let it go. That's all. So y'all, let's get to the depressing portion of the show, which was Clint and Tracy. All right, y'all. Clint goes to tell his mom that he's going to spend the $5,000 to bond Tracy out of jail. And his mom is just so upset with him. She feel like, how many times are you going to have to go through this with Tracy? Like, isn't this like number 3? Isn't it the third time that they've gone through this where she's gotten arrested for drugs and he's gone and bailed her out, bonded her? I feel like this has happened this third time or the second time. I can't remember, y'all. But enough for us to feel like, Clint, this is a cycle that you just gonna keep going through because you need your meth goddess. And I understand loving somebody and everything and wanting to be there for them, but this is so toxic, y'all. Their relationship is so toxic, and Tracy needs serious help, and I don't know if she's ready to get that help. And like the mom said, this is draining to them as a family, to the mom and the dad. It's draining to see their son go through this. But I feel like, you know, y'all need to cut the cord. And the mama told him that if he's going to continue down this path, he's going to lose them. And I feel like that's a decision that they just going to have to make, because Clint, to me, seems as if he has an addictive personality. So being around her can only have a negative effect on him in the long run. I'm sorry. Especially if she can't get herself together. That's just how I have viewed their relationship based off of the seasons that they've been on here. Okay? But I hope that Tracy can get herself together, because it's terribly sad to watch somebody be emaciated, to watch somebody be addicted, and just to watch how dark that must be for her and for the both of them. I mean, he went and got her out of jail, and she didn't want to be on camera at first. And 2 weeks went by, and she was on camera in the bed with Clint. And it just looked like two people in a bed where they get high all the time and pass out and slob on themselves. And I'm sure that feels great, but it looks terrible. Therefore, to the viewer, feeling very sad and dark and depressing, and just, it's terrible to look at. I'm sorry, y'all. Tracy and Clint were terrible to look at this episode. Like, it's just, Tracy is facing 20 years in jail. Okay, and she says that she wants help and she wants to go to rehab and she needs to get help, but I think it's only because she's trying to get out of the jail sentence. She doesn't want to go back to jail. Clint wants her to get healthy, and he believes that she will do that and that she will make her court date so he can get his $5,000 back. Me and his mama, we not so sure. We not so sure at all. But you know what? More power to Clint and Tracy. But this just looked like, a train wreck on repeat. So Brittany and Marcelino are on their way to go and see a family lawyer about her situation. Y'all know that when she was very, very young, she ran away from home because her parents were alcoholics and drug addicts. And I think she was about 12 years old when she ran away. She ran into the arms of a 30-year-old man who she was in a relationship with, who had her robbing banks and doing drugs. And around 15 and 16, she had 2 children. I think one at the time that they were taping is 11, the girl, and then there's a boy that's 13. Because she got arrested, she lost custody of her children, and the way it's set up in their state, she lost all rights to them, to the point where she can't really even have contact with them. So she doesn't even know where they are. So she can seek them out. She's entitled to view the paperwork that was put in for her case, but that does not mean she will be able to access her children. So this is going to be an ordeal. Of course, this brings me to Black Ink Crew and, in New York with Sky. And I have to wonder, are you doing this for a storyline, or are you really trying to reconnect with your children? I would hope and, like to believe that in Brittany's case, that's what she's trying to do. But it's also very much it's very much an option, because we've seen it before, that people use their situations for camera time, to stay on a show, to stay entertaining on a show, and not to really help and aid in their family coming back together in a healthy way. You know what I'm saying? Because with Sky, I felt like the fact that they never went and really got therapy together, I feel like it's both sides, but I don't feel as if she handled that situation in a way that would make those boys feel comfortable or right about going through therapy. They feel as if she wronged them and used them for publicity. So obviously in some way she's validated that feeling, because when you watch it on the show, that's what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I thought about when I saw Brittany and when I think about this storyline that they're about to do. But I don't feel that way. I'm just pointing out that was, the thought that crossed my mind. So, y'all, Megan, Michael, and Sarah. Megan and her friend, y'all, I don't know why I forgot homeboy name. I didn't know he was that buff. But they met on the track so they can do a little exercise and talking about Michael. Okay, and he's coming in and out of Megan's life, and recently he has been only out and hasn't really been communicating with her. Now we all know that Michael then moved on to Maria and doesn't want to be with Megan anymore because she did whatever she did with the homeboy. That's a turn off to him. Okay, even though he was lying and cheating and married the entire relationship. I mean, he got married and had a baby within the 3 years, I think, that they have been talking to each other, and she viewed them as together. So he's been doing a lot on you, and come to find out, he got a whole nother girl, Maria, that he's about to bring into the equation. But his plan is to go and see Sarah this episode. But right now we're focusing on Megan. All right. So Megan is feeling some type of way, but she's still hopeful about her relationship with Michael. Even though he told her that he's seeing other women. Okay. He verbally said this to her. She still feels as if he's not really having any relationships romantically with anyone because they have so much chemistry. I said, girl, but that's what he was doing when he got married to Sarah. What you talking about, Megan? Her friend is telling her that Michael does not value you. You are a catch. You can do better, and you need to let it go. Move on like Maya. Whose draws all these? You know I wear a size 4. And if you say that you've been faithful, then who was at your back door? Sarah is getting her kids ready to bring them to meet Michael. Okay, I think they were at her place and Michael came to her place. I think that's what it was, but I thought she stayed in a apartment. I didn't know what was going on, y'all. All I know is Michael and his new old lady Maria, okay, or however the order is, because he said he knew her before Sarah. But anyway, so he took her to the hotel. Okay, first dropped her off. And, we saw her and everything, and she's an older woman. And it's obvious that Michael is getting everything he wants out of the situation, including the possibilities of threesomes. I'm guessing that he and Maria have done some threesomes together, and that's why he really is attracted to her. Because he said it as if because she will have threesomes with him, that must mean that she's an adult and she's more mature than Megan. She may be more mature than Megan, but she's just as stupid. He says they rocking. Okay, he says they're rocking. And he wants to grow with Maria. And that's why he's decided to bring her on this trip to go and see his 2 daughters. Okay, Sarah is going to be upset about it because she still wants him. That's what he said. I mean, it's the truth. She obviously still wants him, because I wouldn't have anything to say other than, okay, come see the kids. When you gonna come back to see? Like, I don't want to even talk about a relationship with you anymore. And the fact that she gets so upset about how he's treated her and the daughter, okay, I get that. She's still upset about the way he treats her daughter and not being there. At the end of the day, that does not mean that you get to tell him he can't come and be around her just because he don't do right by her. Like, I know that's messed up. And that's a messed up position for a mother to be in, because you want to protect your kids. But his rights are he can see his kids. So I just kind of feel like her making that harder shows that she is still in love with him and hurt by the way he's handled their relationship. And I don't blame her. But at the same time, Sarah has put herself in this situation and she's gone about it like a bird. And now she's stuck married to a man and got 2 babies by him, and he don't want nothing to do with her. He done moved on 2 times over. And who knows who else he messing with right now. He's just running around using all of y'all. That's all he doing, using every single one of y'all. He says he doesn't know what's in the future for he and Megan, but right now, Maria is giving him everything he need and want in the relationship, okay? So he goes to meet with Sarah and the kids, and y'all, her oldest daughter burst into tears when he got there. She was scared, and she runs to her mom and she's crying in her chest. And Michael was trying to see what's going on and why she's acting that way, because he's so used to her being excited to see him. But he hasn't been around, and she's built resentment because when she calls, he does not answer. And Sarah says that she does ask, oh, well, is he not coming because he doesn't love me, because he doesn't like me? Did I do something wrong? She's starting to internalize his abandonment, and she's too young for that. And she says that she was worried he was coming to take her away from her mom. Y'all, that was so sad to me. It was so sad to me, y'all. And Michael's dumb ass can't seem to understand why she feels this way, because you're not present. You being there every once in a while is not you being there the way you should be. Why do men feel like they can do the bare minimum and everybody should be okay with that? No, she's a baby. And you not being there is stressful for her. And I'm sure that Sarah talking all of y'all business and letting out all her emotions in front of those kids also doesn't help. Okay, it's a mutually toxic situation. But ultimately, I feel so sorry for the baby. I feel so sorry for her. But eventually, she warmed up. And she went and played with him, and they played with the water guns. And Sarah is sitting there like, you think I would be happy to see them playing with each other and having a good time. But really, I'm pissed off because I know that he's going to leave and she's going to be upset all over again. And I understood what she meant when she said that. And I really do feel for her. But that's why you have to be more selective with the people you choose to be with. And you also have to be smart about how you procreate with people. Michael was in jail the entire time. You didn't really know anything about Michael and how he was going to treat you before you started to let him impregnate you, Sarah. So please take some responsibility for the fact that you were being young and dumb. And that really shouldn't even be an excuse anymore. Not at this point. So let his ass go. Make sure he on child support. Get a schedule going. And stop with the bullshit. Both of y'all. Him too. Because I almost feel like you brought Maria on this trip not only to pay for your broke ass, but also so you can make Sarah feel like shit because you get some pleasure out of that. When he's talking to Sarah, he's trying to talk about the kids and when he can actually come and get the kids because her mom came and picked up the children. And so he's trying to have this conversation like it's about being a parent. And she's like, well, you know, you can't just treat me like shit and think that I'm going to care about you and what you need and what you want. I'm not ready to have a conversation about when you can come and take my children. Okay? Especially since the little girl freaked out the way she did. He wasn't going nowhere with them children that day. It wasn't about to happen. She tells him because of the way he treats her, he must not, be expecting to stay at her house. And he says, no, he's not expecting that. He got somewhere to stay. So then she like, oh yeah, so what, you came alone? Or you with somebody? And she kept asking over and over again. And he was like, I'm not trying to explain nothing to you, bro. I'm trying to talk about this. And then you talk about you want me to be in their life. But you acting like this right now. Why you worrying about who I'm there with? Talking around the question. At the end of the day, y'all still married. I know you want a divorce and everything. But this is just disrespectful and unnecessary. Like, he acting like he didn't want her to know about it, but he did. He wanted her to know. Okay, so now he tells her that he's there with another woman, and she wants to know if it's Megan. I said, child, little do you know, sis. You saw all of them women who's sending him money and who he's talking to and all that. You know there's a possibility that it ain't just Megan out here, okay? But y'all, moving on. So Angela is going out with her people, Donna Faye, her friend Brenda, and her old boy Tommy. Y'all know Tommy's in love with Angela. But Tony is like, you look beautiful, you know, and he's like, why can't I come with you? And she liked the cigarette. She was like, because they don't like you right now, Tony. Like, stupid ass, duh. You can't hang with me and my friends because we about to sit, drink, and talk shit about you. Okay? He asked when she gonna come home, and she knows she can't let him know no time frame. She can't let him know when she coming home because then he might go try to go and cheat and hurry up and come back before she come home. So she like, I'm not telling you when I'm coming home, Tony. I'm not telling you because I don't know, okay? But I'm gonna go out and have a good time, okay? And you just be good. You just do the right thing, okay? And then she leaves. And she go and meet with Donna Faye, Brenda, and Tommy. And they sit down and they drink and they talk about Tommy and how he's such a dog and how she's so stupid for staying with him and all of that. But of course, you know, because when it's good, it's so good. You know, he's so good. I'm like, girl, if you don't stop, you digmatized. That's it. That's all. We all know. We all know. But you too old to let it rule you in this way. Okay, Angela? You think you're going to fix him. You're not going to fix him, sis. Donna Faye say, why don't you let him believe that you going and staying somewhere else and come stay by me? Let him worry about you the way you always worrying about him, because she's sitting up there talking to them and checking her phone so she can see where he is, because y'all know she got that tracker on his phone. All right. And y'all know right now he's feeling real imprisoned. He feeling like all of Angela's rules are worse than jail. Okay. So he feeling some type of way. And she knows that because she went out, he might be upset and then in turn decide to go and do something to get back at her. Right. So Donna Faye said, come stay by me. And when they leaving, she like, look, are you coming over by my house or what? And she was like, no, I think I'm just going to go home. I think I'm just going to go and see what Tony's up to. Okay, so she goes and she sits outside her house, sit outside her trailer, and she called Tony and she say, oh, Tony, I think I'm going to stay with Donna Faye tonight. Yeah, all right, baby, I love you. I'll see you in the morning. All right, love you. And then she sit there and light her a cigarette and she said, well, you got a cheating ass man, this what you got to do. I'm sorry to do it to him, but I got to do it. Okay, like she's sitting smoking a cigarette, sitting outside the trailer waiting for him to leave so she can follow him and see where he going. Y'all, I can't deal. I cannot deal with Angela. This is too much, but this is people that like to be in toxic relationships. Everybody thinks that they going through this because they're in love with somebody. But sometimes they in love with the toxicity of it all. The push and the pull, the fighting and the fucking. But yeah, y'all, that was Love After Lockup, hashtag Life After Lockup, all of that. I hope y'all enjoyed the drunk review. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.